Okay, I had to address this because this just came out and it's by Charlamagne. I'm not going to say I'm going to say Charlamagne the God. That's what he calls himself, but I'm just going to call him Charlamagne because I'm a Christian and I know who God is. But the most amazing thing is that he actually admitted that President Trump is way more wittier than Joe Biden. Yes, he actually said it on air. Of course, the media freaked out and they're trying to like, what? How could that possibly be? You know, President Joe Biden is completely fine. That's what they always say. Check this out. Look at this video clip of Charlamagne and what he says.
Well, he's just an uninspiring candidate. Like, you know, there's nothing about, you know, Joe Biden that makes you want to listen to him. That's why he should be leaning on, you know, his vice president, Kamala Harris, who's way more charismatic than him. He should be leaning on, you know, other surrogates like, you know, Gavin Newsom or, you know, Shapiro in Pennsylvania. Like, he should be leaning on people who are more inspiring than him, who are more charismatic than him, and he should just be, I guess, if you want to call it, the brains of the operation behind the scenes. Like, that sounds crazy that we're saying that about a president of the United States of America, but he has no main character energy at all. None.
And what is that? Is that age? Is it the way he is? I mean, why do you? What's the problem?
I don't think it has anything to do with age. You know, I think it has just everything to do with him. Like, Donald Trump is what, 3 years younger than President Biden, but he just comes off a lot more youthful. He comes off, you know, like he has a lot more energy.
Isn't that amazing? And I think let's make a point of it. Let's look at a video of Joe Biden first. I'm sorry, President Joe Biden. I know it drives you crazy. I'm respecting the office. Doesn't mean I'm respecting the man. But let's compare and look at what Joe Biden looks like when he's talking to people.
To be on direct dial, the two of us, Governor DeSantis and I, we spoke again this morning. I let him know that I approved his major disaster declaration, and I also spoke with Governor McMaster's and with the for South Carolina's emergency declaration as well. And I spoke the day before to the governors of not just Florida and South Carolina, but of North Carolina as well as Georgia. And look, it means we're making available federal assistance for Florida survivors whose homes are damaged or destroyed by the declaration that I agreed to.
Okay, so then let's compare what President Trump looks like when he's talking to people.
He's the most crooked president we've ever had. He's the most incompetent president we've ever had. And he's the worst president we've ever had. Other than that, he's actually doing quite a good job. He's a disaster. And, you know, I never spoke about him this way. You know that. But when I got indicted the first time, it's all of these cases and all of these indictments are all him. It's him and his corrupt Department of Justice. But all of these indictments, when I got indicted, I said, I can't believe it. Nobody thought it was going to happen. The fake news always said, well, they'll never do that to an ex-president who was very popular. We got more votes than any sitting president in history. I mean, we were very popular. But when they did that, I said, well, I'm going to tell the truth. He is the most incompetent president we've ever had, the most corrupt, and he's the worst president we've ever had. What he's done just on the border, what he's done in Afghanistan, I was getting out, but we were going to get out with dignity and strength, and it would have been faster. But had the election been not rigged, it would have been faster, much faster. But we got out, we looked like cowards, it looked like a surrender. It was the worst moment, I believe the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, and it gave Putin the idea of going in because there was no chance that he would ever go into Ukraine. There was zero chance. And he looked at that and he looked at the stupidity where they take the soldiers out first. They left $85 billion worth of military equipment behind. They left American people behind. And 13 soldiers were killed, and 38 were literally obliterated with the arms, the legs, the face. What happened to those 38? And nobody talks about them. I talk about them all the time, all because of grossly incompetent people. When we win, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast. In our first term, we appointed over 300 federal judges and 3 great Supreme Court justices. Did a great job. A record. And for our great veterans, we passed VA accountability and VA choice, and nobody thought it was possible. And we had to get that through Congress. We had accountability. We had choice. You know, we had thousands of people, Henry, thousands and thousands of people in the VA who were sadists and who were thieves and who were bullies, and they were horrible to our vets who weren't in prime time for themselves. If they were, they wouldn't have been harassed like they were harassed. But we had 9,000 people.
It doesn't get any clearer than that. You already know this, but the fact that Charlamagne actually said it on air and the media's trying to dance around it, I get a big kick out of it. And of course, let's look at the very tail end of the video clip and see how they had to put this at the end of the video.
Biden, but he just comes off a lot more youthful. He comes off, you know, like he has a lot more energy.
Yeah, they had to say that because they had to cover their butts and say that he said something bad about President Trump. And they, of course, inserted that in after the interview. So this is William Wieting reporting from MustangMedic. You know, come on now. Come on now. It can't get more obvious. Even somebody like Charlamagne is complimenting President Trump on how witty he is compared to Joe Biden. There's just no way he's going to actually be running for office, running for the next election. It just can't happen. Will it be Michelle Obama? Could it possibly be Michelle Obama? More and more, like what Roger said in the interview that we did, it sure is looking like it, isn't it? Scary thought. Thank you. William Wieting reporting from MustangMedic. Thank you for watching.